In this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how my client went from running ads for 2 weeks with no calls, no sales, and the very next week, with a handful of small changes that we made, he booked 19 calls, closed 10 sales at 1,700 per sale, collected 17k, and completely transformed how he runs ads and acquires clients in his business. If you've got no idea who I am, I'm Neil Shoney, and I have helped almost 3,000 coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses scale with Facebook ads. We have 6-figure months in 21 different niches so far. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the exact type of system that we install into these businesses so that we're not focused upon impressions and reach and clicks and link click-through rates and all of those different things. We're focused on two things: revenue and profitability. And of course, if you like this type of content, then do all the YouTube malark. Like, comment if you're a really good human, subscribe. I think that's it. Into the video. Okay, so my client Nikhil came to me, it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, and he said, I've been running these ads and I haven't been getting any calls, and so therefore I've got no sales, but I've been spending money every single day. The funny thing is I've got lots of leads coming through, but just none of them seem to be the right quality or, you know, having any interest in moving any closer to even discussing coaching or booking a call. And so the very first thing I said was, I haven't seen any of this. So we have the system in place for him, fully mapped out, but he hadn't shared anything with me for auditing before actually going public, which is something that we do with all of our clients, which is we give feedback at every single step with every single piece of content, ads, audiences, etc., before the public ever sees it, so that we can optimize it for day one result. But I hadn't seen any of it. So I said, well, the very first thing you're going to have to do is send everything over to me so that I can audit it. So we need to see landing pages. We need to see all of the ads that you've got running right now. I want to watch the videos. I want to see any images. I want to see the copy that you're using inside the ads. I want to know if there's any scripting. What's the script that you're actually using, so that I can see where this may be breaking down. And then, given that a part of the process here was he said he was using a VA for it, I wanted to know the VA, how many hours are they doing, how fast is their speed of response, and different bits and pieces like that as well. So basically just a full breakdown of the entire system. And when I found it, the most important piece that we looked at here, and there's a few different things that I'm going to break down for you that we did that completely transformed it from tons of leads, no calls, no sales, to around the same amount of leads. In fact, actually, a little bit less leads the next week, but 19 calls were booked, 10 calls closed at 1,700 per sale, and 17k was brought into the business in a 17-day period. The number one thing that we actually changed here was not the system, because the system was already right. It was already cherry-picked for him. It was a system that fitted his business, his market, his niche, but it was inside the creative itself. And a lot of the time people will say, you know, a VSL funnel doesn't work for me, or I've tried a challenge before, challenges didn't work, or I've tried lead magnets don't work for me, so therefore I would never run a lead magnet again. You know, direct booking ads or direct application ads or messenger ads, they don't work for me because I've already tried them. And a lot of the time it's actually in the detail, it's in the creative, it's in the messaging, it's in the way that you're running it, it's the way that you set it up. And the big thing is Nikhil, for instance, he works specifically with South Asians in the health and fitness space, and they have very specific diets, and he helps them navigate weight loss around that specific diet. When I went into the videos, when I went into the ad copy, there was almost no mention of that whatsoever. It was all about, if you're looking to lose weight, then we've got a system, but there was nothing about their specific diet, using their type of language, using you know, examples of things that they commonly eat, or using examples of very specific things. And so the very first thing I got him to do was just recraft it and create new videos around that specific audience. We even then went into the small piece of ad copy that was supporting these ads, and we tweaked those as well, so that we were calling out the demographic in the very first line, and then we were going deeper with some of the language that they use around the type of diet that they have as well. The very first thing that we actually saw here with this tweak was a slight reduction in the number of leads coming in versus the previous 2 weeks when he was speaking to absolutely everybody. But he was getting lots of click happy people coming through and inquiring, if you will, but not many people were taking any action after that. Most people were just being click happy. There was a lot of fake profiles. It just wasn't the right people that were coming through to him. And so to make this tweak, we had to get more specific with the audience. We had to get more specific with the language, which meant a smaller group of people were being targeted, a smaller group of people we were being relevant to, and therefore it was costing more per lead. However, those leads were being hyper responsive, and they were continuing the conversation, and they were booking in calls, and they were showing up to calls, and they were buying a premium program from cold targeting. This happens exactly like in my own ads, where I've of course got the coaching business where we work with coaches and consultants at all levels. We have 2 very specific programs and masterminds that allow us to work in really close capacity. In my top tier mastermind, I work 100%, well, I say 100%, I always say 95% plus of the questions that anybody asks in our top tier mastermind gets answered directly by myself. So I head up the top tier mastermind. But I've also got an agency, bricks and mortar agency with staff in a building in the UK, albeit that I live in Florida. And we're just at that time of the day where this type of top is just not going to be okay. So I'll probably be sweating buckets by the end of this short video. But when we're running ads for service-based businesses, coaches, consultants, service-based businesses, we have a piece of copy in there, or a line of copy that says the bad news is we only work with service-based businesses who are already running at over 750k per year. And so in that type of situation, when we added in that piece of copy, our cost per lead nearly tripled in that moment. I think I did a YouTube video about it, but it nearly tripled. But our ROIs drastically improved. And so not only were a higher percentage of the leads coming through the first step, getting to the final step and booking the call, but a higher percentage of those leads coming through were turning up to the call and buying within 7 days, even though our lowest price product is a very, very premium product in the agency space. Our coaching products, of course, are much, much more affordable. However, in the done for you space, when we're working with people for 12 months and handling everything for them, their ads, their funnels, their emails, and everything, as you can imagine, it's a pretty premium product. And having that one step in there, most people would have gone, that didn't work, it tripled my cost per lead. They would have turned it off. But if you're focused on ROIs and not just romanticizing leads, you're going to start thinking like this, and your ads are going to start to perform much, much better. And so the key takeaway here is around the specificity in the language that you're using about who this is for and who it drastically definitely is not for. And if you can get specific about those 2 things and make it crystal clear and easy to understand, your ads are going to become much, much more profitable. Now with Nikhil, we're actually doing a second ad system that's absolutely class, where he's now doing a lot less manual busy work, a lot less reliance on the VA, and now it's completely hands off, built once, and it just books in really, really high quality calls. It's a super high friction system, which the cost per lead for this is about 4 times the price of the cost per lead from his previous system, but the ROIs are extremely similar, but without any of the heavy lifting. And so having 2 ad systems is what we typically do with every client that we have. There's a reason for that. Number 1, we want to find winners and losers and scale accordingly. The second thing is having 2 ad systems is amazing for bringing stability and predictability of your scaling, because it means that on any given week, one ad system can underperform slightly and the other one is likely to overperform, and it's all going to even out. Instead of you having a week or a month where your ad system is performing better or worse, it's great to have 2 ad systems that absolutely kill. It's like how I spoke on the last video, I think, on YouTube about Hayden, and how we have, well, I was about to say 2 ad systems. We've actually got 3 for him, because we've got 2 for his online business, and then he also has a jiu-jitsu gym. All 3 of them are running at tremendous ROIs. But for his coaching business, having 2 ad systems that are both profitable is why he was giving us that type of testimonial, because the predictability of his scaling is just unrivaled to anything that he's experienced before. It's because there's two there as well. So on one side, you want to get an ad system rock and rolling. It's funny because most coaches are, they're throwing things against the wall and just seeing what sticks, and hoping copying something that they saw somebody else do with ads is gonna unlock gold in their coaching business, or unlock ads finally for them, so that they can get the type of results that they see other people are getting out there. But once you've got that one ad system up and running, you can typically find that, like with Nikhil, we made those tweaks to the language, we made those tweaks to the positioning, we made those tweaks to the creative overall, and we were able to see the drastic change in results based upon the language that was used there. It makes it really easy to bring in a second ad system and say, okay, we lead with the same headlines, we lead with the same hooks, we lead with the same language, we lead with the same demographic and targeting, but we simply put them through a different system. And that allows you to create a second ad system with a really, really high success rate of performing as well or even better than the first successful ad system that you have in your business. And if you want to install a great ad system that is predictable and scalable in your coaching or consulting or service-based business, then I'll drop a link below right at the top of the caption so that you can see exactly how our system works. It's a 5-minute video. Just watch the 5-minute video, see if it's something that feels like a good fit for you. Basically, the way that we do things is there is no one size fits all. We've got 37 different ad frameworks for a reason. Like Nikhil, we're able to cherry pick 2 of the 37 that are best fits for him. Hayden is doing 2 completely different ad systems because they're the right fit for him. His jiu-jitsu gym is doing a completely different ad system from his coaching because it's a different business. And so we cherry pick the right system and we optimize it with you. We template every single step, give you feedback at every single step, and if you're in my top tier mastermind, it's me personally that's giving you feedback at every single step. And as soon as your ads are running, we give you an ad review every 3 days. It's why people like Jason, for instance, who's on the podcast and is on the YouTube channel, why he's just renewed for his 4th year with us. The reason why he's done that is because we don't have to tweak his ad system every 3 months and create a new ad system and add a 3rd one and add a 4th one and add a 5th one. It's nothing more than optimizing and scaling the stuff that's already working alongside how ads are changing and things like that. But it's an ad review every 3 days. That's where the value is in a business like that, staying with us for 4 years plus. It's because we've already got the system. The system's right, but it's about optimizing it on a daily basis. If that sounds like the type of thing that you're looking for, watch the 5-minute video below and see if it's a good fit for you. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video.